The monolithic structure of ancient Chinese wooden buildings is composed of three parts. From bottom to top are the base, the body, and the ears. The pedestal part has formed a major series over the course of thousands of years of development. Square base and fiber seat. The square pedestal is a native pedestal in China. Sumerians is a product influenced by Buddhist culture. Both are composed of two parts, the base body and the step body. The base body directly supports the house body, and the steps are for people to go up and down. The use of pedestals in ancient Chinese architecture has a long history and a wide range of applications. From His Highness the Soul to the houses, its existence can be seen, and this is correlated with the benefits of the pedestal. From a practical perspective, one of the main functions of the pedestal is moisture resistance. The foundation above the outdoor floor is mainly composed of layers of rammed earth or rammed earth layers, and broken bricks and stones are formed by overlapping and overlapping. This approach can effectively stop the rise of groundwater content. The height difference between the foundation and the outdoor floor reduces the possibility of surface water eroding the interior, so as to ensure that there is a relatively dry environment in the building, suitable for people's living and use. At the same time, it also protects the wooden frame so that the wooden frame will not rot due to water erosion. The base is structurally load-bearing. The foundation, cast in this way, is actually a massive foundation. It has good rationality to the original natural level. It can better bear the weight of the upper part and prevent uneven settlement from occurring. In addition, the use of pedestals in ancient Chinese architecture also has positive aesthetic significance, because it obviously avoids the top-heavy imbalance that big roof buildings tend to produce. As the ancient said, the whole of light is 3 feet high, is the pedestal. He paints us a vague picture of architecture in ancient times. Among the oracle-born inscriptions left over from the Shang dynasty in China, there are records of the architectural form at that time. Archaeological excavations in Henan, China, show physical evidence of Shang architectural applications and foundations. It was rammed earth, very solid, with neat edges. The height of the base is nearly 1 meter. The length is 20 to 80 meters, and the width is generally more than 14 meters. The plain form of the base includes rectangle, strip, etc. It can be said that at least in ancient times, the use of pedestals in Chinese architecture has begun to take shape. Due to the construction of a pedestal in an era of low productivity, it is a large amount of engineering and complex technical requirements. So the presence or absence of a pedestal and the height of the pedestal naturally become a symbol of people's status. In order to demonstrate their rights, the ruling class tried their best to explore the significance of the pedestal in terms of shape. Zhou Li Kaoguangji records the change process of the height of the pedestal, shows people's attention to the significance of the pedestal shape. And with a 9-foot pedestal, of course, it's not just moisture and loss. The Book of Rites stipulates that the emperor is 9 feet, the princes are 7 feet, the doctor is 5 feet, and the scholar is 3 feet. In the chaotic spring and autumn period and the warring states period, people arbitrarily raised the height of the pedestal. Archaeological excavations have revealed that there were numerous high-rise buildings in the palaces of many princes at that time, such as the remains of Chen Xiunian Palace. The height of its pedestal reaches 6 meters. With the establishment of the unified empire of the Qin dynasty, the trend of creating high-rise buildings has declined. The Great Wall and terracotta warriors of the Qin dynasty all show the extraordinary momentum of that era. On the ruins of the Fangong Palace, one of the largest rammed earth platforms is a kilometer long. Although rammed earth bases were widespread in the Han dynasty, brick column bases began to appear. The brick pillar platform is on the periphery of the rammed earth platform. The lower part is bricked. The upper part is surrounded by step stones, and the base surface is still square bricks or square stones. The sturdiness and aesthetics of brick injection base are better than those of rammed earth base. From the Han Q, we can also see that there were many changes to the square base at that time. If there are 3 horizontal lines engraved, etc., the second dual system prevailed on the square steps of the Han dynasty. That is, there are 2 steps for going up and down in front of the main hall steps. The left side is also known as the eastern or left side for the master's use. The right side is also known as the west step or the bin step for guests. There are continuous arch doors around the square steps of the Tang dynasty. This is obviously influenced by Buddhist culture. In the book-building French style in the Song Dynasty, we can know the basic appearance of the square steps in the Song Dynasty. Footstones at the corners of the steps. There are often dragons, phoenixes, lions, and other things carved on the top of the footstone. There are pressure bar step stones along the step mouth on the side of the cornerstone. There are trails stepped on the front, and there are layers of concave elephant eyes on both sides of the trails. The square pedestals of the Ming and Qing dynasties were much simpler than those of the Song dynasty. The most beautiful form of pedestal in ancient Chinese architecture is the Sumeru seat. No matter from the name or some of the carvings, Sumeru is all associated with Buddhism, and the earliest Sumerians are existing in Yangon grottos. It is also a product of the Northern Wei dynasty, when Buddhism was widely spread in China. The overall shape of the assumption is mainly composed of 3 parts, found at the upper and lower ends, with a concave waist in the middle. Between the upper and lower sides and the waist, there acts a mix. The whole body of the Northern Wei dynasty is plain, without any decorative patterns. It became the mother body of Sumatra in later dynasties. In the Tang dynasty, the height of the waist of the Sumeru seat was increased, and continuous waist columns were also decorated. There is an arc gate engraved between the 2 waist columns. Characters or other patterns are often carved in the part door. In the Tang dynasty, lotus petal patterns were often carved on owls. The top is the small lotus petal, and the bottom is the lotus petal. The owls in the Tang dynasty were mixed with plain land, and there were also changes such as removing the owl mix shape. Since the Tang dynasty, in addition to the plain owl mix, the decorative patterns on the owl mix only use lotus petal patterns, and it became an institution for generations to come. On some monumental buildings in the Tang dynasty, the top of the Sumerian seat was often omitted, which was also a feature of the times. In the Song dynasty, the Sumerian seat often used multi-layer waist cords. Imitations are also added to 3 or more layers, often with white curls of flowers and plants carved on the top. In addition, cloud pattern, water pattern, swastika pattern, animal pattern, etc. are also commonly used decorative themes on fan. In the Song dynasty, some of them were greatly thickened. The thickened part is made of brick masonry with cornerstones attached. It's actually adding another square step on the ground floor. The height of each layer on the fibrous seat of the multi-layer waist is not equal, but there must be one layer of girdle that is significantly higher than the other layers. The waist part of the Song dynasty also used waist columns, and was also carved with pot doors and figures and other patterns. In the Song dynasty, some of the girdle waist became vertical and expanded outward in an arc, to reduce the sense of thinness caused by the increase in the waist. In the Song dynasty, the waist of the Sumerian seat increased, and the number of owls also increased at the same time. In general, in the multi-layer owl mix, only 2 layers are engraved with petals, small conjunctival on top, conjunctival on bottom. Compared with the Tang dynasty, Liang, one of the Song dynasty, appears in. From the Yuan dynasty until the Ming and Qing dynasties, with a few exceptions, it has returned to the early form of 1-layer waist, 2-layer fan, and 2-layer owl. Compared with the Tang and Song dynasties, the Yuan dynasty began to lower the height of the girdle, without the use of waist columns and dark doors. The second generation of the Ming and Qing dynasties followed suit. In the Ming and Qing dynasties, the thickness of the upper and lower fangzuo was the same, and the carvings were often fine patterns. In the corner part of the waist, basically used a plate flower butterfly belt as decoration. On the upper and lower owl mix decoration, they are all carved with very plump and thick decorative even plate patterns. In the Qing dynasty, some owls were treated as flowing curves. European-style owls show the influence of foreign cultures. Since the zoomed owl was used as the base of ancient Chinese architecture, it becomes the highest level symbol in the pedestal. Therefore, in the feudal society, the Sumerian throne could only be used in high-level palaces and temples. In a class society, Sumatra is deeply marked by hierarchy.